Welcome, welcome, welcome into another day and another lesson in A Course in Miracles. So glad to be joining with you as we get into Salvation Comes from My One Self. And this is after yesterday's lesson, I am one self united with my Creator. I love the rest of it too, at one with all aspects of creation and unlimited in power and in peace. Okay. So before we get into it, let's just take a quick moment to just get into the present. Closing your eyes or settling your gaze. Beginning to breathe with focus. Focusing all your attention on the inhale and the exhale. Knowing that there's nowhere else to be. There's nothing else to do other than be right here, right now, with your breath. If your attention and your energy has been getting lost or distracted, this is your time to bring all that energy back to yourself in this moment so you can fully receive what the lesson has for us today. Bring all that energy back to yourself in this moment using the breath. One last breath here. All right, bringing your attention gently back to the space. As we get into Salvation Comes from My One Self, Lesson 96. Although you are one self, you experience yourself as two, as both good and evil, loving and hating, mind and body. The sense of being split into opposites induces feelings of acute and constant conflict and leads to frantic attempts to reconcile the contradictory aspects of this self-perception. So I'm good and I'm evil, I'm really loving, but also hating. Okay, am I a mind, am I a body? So there's all these frantic attempts to try to reconcile these contradictory aspects of how we see ourselves. And you and I have sought many such solutions of how to reconcile these things about our split self. And none of them have worked. The opposites that you and I see in ourselves are never going to be compatible, but one exists. The fact that truth and illusion cannot be reconciled, no matter how hard you and I try, what means we use and where we see the problem, it must be accepted that it's not going to be reconciled no matter how hard we try if we want to be saved. Until we have accepted that they cannot be reconciled no matter how hard we try, we will attempt an endless list of goals that you and I cannot reach. A senseless series of expenditures. We're going to spend a bunch of time, we're going to spend a bunch of effort, hopefulness, and then doubt. Each one is going to be as futile as the one before, and failing as the next one surely will. Why is that? Because problems that have no meaning cannot be resolved within the framework that they're set. The problems that have no meaning. Two selves in conflict could not be resolved, and good and evil have no meeting place. The self that we made, our self-concept, our image of ourself, could never be our self as what God created. Nor can our self be split in two, who we truly are, be split into two, and still be what it is and must forever be, as God created us. A mind and a body cannot both exist. Make no attempt to reconcile the two, for one denies that the other can be real. If you are physical, if you are a body, your mind is gone from your self-concept, for the mind has no place which it could really be a part of you. If you are spirit, then the body must be meaningless to the reality, to who we truly are. Spirit makes use of mind as means, so the spirit in us, who we truly are, that self, uses the mind as a means to find its self-expression, capital S. And the mind which serves the spirit is at peace and filled with joy, because its power comes from spirit, and it's fulfilling happily its function here. Yet mind can also see itself as being divorced from spirit and perceive itself within a body, and then we confuse the body as who we truly are. And without the spirit's function, then we have no peace, and happiness is alien to our mind's thoughts if our mind is confusing us with a body. Yet mind apart from spirit cannot think. When our mind is apart from spirit, what happens is that we've denied our source of strength. And so that means we see ourselves as helpless, as limited and weak, because we're disassociated from our function now. So then we're going to think we're alone, that we're attacked by armies massed against ourselves, and that we're just hiding in the body's frail support. Now must this mind, who's confusing itself with a body, who's separated from its function, reconcile unlike with like. For that is what it thinks that it is for, right? To reconcile like with like, unlike. So we're being asked to waste no more time on this, because who can resolve the senseless conflicts which a dream presents? What could the resolution mean in truth? What purpose could it serve? What is it for? Salvation, our happiness, is not about making illusions real, nor trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. And perhaps we hope that it can. Perhaps we hope that it can. Yet would we have God's plan for the release of us bring pain to us and fail to set us free? No. Our self, our true self, who we really are, the spirit that you and I, that all of us truly are, retains its thoughts. And those thoughts remain within our mind and in the mind of God. The Holy Spirit holds salvation in our mind and offers our mind the way to peace. Salvation is a thought. So how do we get to salvation? Well, we get to the thought, and that's a thought that we share with God, because the Holy Spirit, God's voice, accepted it for us and answered in our name, and it was done. So thus is salvation kept. Salvation is kept among the thoughts that our true self, the real self within us, holds dear and cherishes for you, holds dear and cherishes for me. So I love that. No matter how much we forget, no matter how much we try to solve problems that don't exist, no matter how much we confuse ourselves with who we truly are, the truth is being held and cherished for us, and we can connect to that thought that we hold with God whenever we're ready, right? So we will attempt today to find this thought, whose presence in your mind is guaranteed by Him who speaks to you from your one self. Our hourly 5-minute practicing will be a search for Him, for the Holy Spirit within your mind. Salvation comes from this one self, through Him who is the bringer, who is the bridge between your mind and that thought. Wait patiently and let Him speak to you about yourself and what your mind can do when your mind is restored to it and free to serve its will. Beautiful. So we want to begin with saying this. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. And you can also change salvation for healing, for happiness. So then seek its thoughts and claim them as your own, this one self, right? It's a one self we've been talking about for the last number of lessons. To claim those thoughts as our own. These are our real thoughts that we have denied. And let our mind go wandering into a world of dreams to find illusions in their place. Here are your thoughts. What we're seeking to reach today, those are your thoughts. The only ones you have. Salvation is among them. Find it there. If you succeed, the thoughts that come to you will tell you that you are saved and that your mind has found the function that it sought to lose. Yourself, capital, I'm going to always emphasize yourself, your real self, will welcome it and give it peace. Restored in strength, it will again flow out from spirit to the Spirit in all things created by the Spirit as itself. Your mind will bless all things. Confusion done. You are restored, for you have found yourself. Your self knows that you cannot fail today. Your real self knows that you cannot fail today. Perhaps your mind remains uncertain yet a little while. Don't be dismayed by this. The joy your self experiences, it will save for you, and it will yet be yours in full awareness. Every time you spend 5 minutes of the hour seeking Him who joins your mind and yourself, you offer Him another treasure to be kept for you. Each time today you tell your frantic mind that salvation comes from your one self, you lay another treasure in your growing store. And all of that treasure is given to everyone who asks for it and will accept the gift. So think then how much is given unto you to give this day, that it be given to you. So, wow. And this isn't like the type of treasures of this world. It's the type that expands and extends and gets offered to everyone. So beautiful. So beautiful. Let's get into our 5-minute practice. Salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use, and we're going to connect to those thoughts. Our self knows that it's already here. It's already here. And it's the thought we share with God. So let's connect to that for 5 minutes, starting now. Ah, that was a really beautiful practice. And I get to that place of, whenever I really allow myself to get to that place of peace, it's just such a beautiful feeling. Ah, I love it when, and it, yeah, it certainly doesn't happen every practice period that I get out of my own way enough. I hope you had a beautiful practice. Salvation comes from our one self. Its thoughts are ours to use. I just, hope for all of us that we get to just use these answers that we already have. It's right here, and it's ours to use. So much love, and I will look forward to joining with you tomorrow as we connect to Lesson 97. Much love.